think we've done it. Well, that's intense music to start it off. Welcome, everyone. How is the audio? Because we've got some stream upgrades. Got this little bad boy, which I'll show you the reasoning for in a moment. Let me know in chat if you can or cannot hear me. That would be super helpful. Goofy Illustrator, great to have you. Great audio, fantastic, good investment. Dealership. Welcome. Mascardi, welcome. Hyacinth Draws, great to have you. Can hear me? Beautiful. Emma, great to have you. Dazzling, welcome back. Blissful, always a pleasure. Travis, I don't know about pulling an all-nighter. I don't know about pulling an all-nighter. Your sleep health is more important than this stream. It's going to be recorded, so don't you worry. Kiara from Germany, great to have you. Alice Draws, great to have you back. Europe-friendly time zone, I know. This is kind of like a once-off. Julius, 5 AM, far out. You crazy kids. All right, so I'll let a few more people roll in. It's going to be a chill one today. It's probably going to be the last one for the year, I think. A final little hurrah. Let me just mute this so I'm not hearing double of me. A final little hurrah for 2023. Dom Victor, hello from Brazil, great to have you. Sketchflow, 3 AM. Emma, 4 AM, far out, you guys are crazy. Have you got up early or are you still awake? That's the question. So, I've got some plans for the streams moving forward. I've got this contraption. You're like, what the shit is that? Let me show you. I'm very excited about this. I figured this out the other day. So bear with me and we'll get cracking. So this is what I'm talking about. Because I do, let's change this please. Do sculpting and stuff. I don't want to showcase more of that and sort of learn more about that on stream. I need, let me throw this up on bloody Instagram as well. I need a first person camera. Ooh. It looks janky looking at me here. Whoop, audio low. Let me turn that up for you, dude. All right, so this plus the mic, we've got freedom, baby. All right, so I can show you what I'm working on as I'm working on it. You know, we can do some sculpting. We've got, I should actually, see look, we're moving around all over the place. So I've got to adjust it when I do it, but now you can get basically exactly what I'm looking at when I'm sculpting things. And I can come back here and I can talk about blah, 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 sculpt away, get right up close of what I'm talking about. Bada bing, bada boom. I look like an absolute nuff in this camera, but I reckon it'll be cool. Also for like YouTube videos and stuff. So I am super pumped about that. So not needed for this one, this is just gonna be a chill session, but this is the plan. Moving forward. I'm We've got a little, we can see our friends on the floor as well. So yeah, pretty bloody excited for that, if I do say so myself. All right, we're back to regular programming. Let me just get myself situated. But what I do need from you guys, it's very important that we have this conversation up front, because I just want to be open with you guys, okay? When I go on break, because I've got ultimate freedom, okay, I can be over here, you can still hear me, all right? But you know what that means? If I take a break, I need someone just to, because I'm not used to it yet, I need someone to tell me to take the mic off, okay? That's all I ask. It's a trust thing, okay? I need you to be on my side for this. It would be hilarious, okay? But I'm not looking to have any other noises apart from my voice come through stream, all right? Appreciate you, Travis. But it was something I was thinking about. I was like, shit, I've got to bloody remember, or else this could be exceptionally funny for everyone else, but absolutely mortifying for me. All right, let's get cracking. So I'm just going to chill. What I've been actually focusing on the last few days is no extra noises. Travis got you back. Sketch Flow, we got it. Legend, Alice. See, don't worry, we got you. I appreciate it, guys. No, the regulars, you got my back. I appreciate you. I appreciate it, Blissful. Dealership, does this distinguished gentleman pay his taxes, and does the chicken pay his taxes? I would hope so. All right, so what I've actually been focusing on recently is, oh, this feels so weird to be so free, because I talk with my hands a lot. So this is gonna be awesome. Is line work, right? Particularly, like I want to mash up more sort of comic booky line work with rendering and like manga and like what are they called? Like the grey halftones, like the little dots that make up grey and black and white and that sort of stuff. So I'm playing around more and more with that. I'll whip this guy up for the thumbnail essentially, but I reckon I might keep going with him and see how interesting we can get with some of these lines. Maybe we slap some color on him. We'll see how we go. But yeah, this is just gonna be a real chilled little little session, you know, nothing super intense. Not like any of the streams are really that intense, but, and yeah, just be going back and forth with chat, hanging out really. Manga tones. Sifu Ben Seka, great to have you. I appreciate you, Blissful. Joel, 99, welcome. You can color halftones with layer masks. Awesome. Legend Devil, hi Ben 10, how are you? I am well. I am well. How are you, Legend Devil? So a lot of this is, particularly with the line weight stuff, right? It's trying to find that balance between interesting shapes, showing where some shadows are, and not getting it too bloody messy, because it's so easy to get too messy with this stuff. And also like rotating the canvas to like hit certain lines. I've been looking at a lot of Ryan Benjamin stuff, like comic book wise. Oh, as well, I've found, I don't know if any of the same people are here, like quite a few streams back, where I was trying to find the comic book, the Spider-Man comic books that I used to read. Like they were very specific sort of look and style that I think influenced my stylization a little bit, and like how to stylize. And I think, let me get this contraption off my phone. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, give me 2 seconds. But we could use this guy's work as well. Who was he? It was Peter Parker Spider-Man. Let's just do some Googling. Just some real quick Googling. Peter Parker Spider-Man covers. Because they have a very particular style. But it was only a few of them. Peter Parker Spider-Man, blah, 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 no. And it would just so happen that these were this kind of stuff, right? So yeah, even like the hands. Yeah, so it was, I remember looking at these covers so often. Right, so I've got this one, I've got this one, I've got this one, I've got this one. Like even look at the hands, this didn't even click with me. I've got this one. I just remember copying these. I've got this one. I've got this one. I've got this one. Fuck, I've got a lot of them. I've got this one. And that was it. So it was really just this stint of like these covers that really sort of appealed to me. So that was, yeah, Humberto Ramos. Jim Klein, you bang on the money, my friend. CGI, that's OBS with the vertical plugin. Allows me to go on Instagram and YouTube as well. So yeah, Humberto's sort of stylization in these ones in particular is sick. I love it. Mr. Brightside, great to have you. Maybe the Amazing Spider-Man. No, it was Peter Parker Spider-Man, that was the one. Mixter, appreciate you. Top donator of 2023. Really, really do appreciate it, my friend. Dazzling, favorite Spider-Man? Hard to say. Are we talking like live action? I'd have to go Tobey Maguire, 1000%. But that's just who I grew up with, right? Blissful. Can I just ask, how do you stay on top of making content? That's a very, actually it's not too difficult, right? Like to explain, I've slowly worked up to a cadence that fits my lifestyle, if that makes sense. It's like with these streams, usually they're on a Monday. So it's really like, it's a weird time of year, so these are a little bit different time and all that kind of stuff. But it's really like finding those habits. Okay, so it's like, all right, I want to post once a week, let's say, minimum, but also do stories and blah, 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 blah. It's just slowly working up to that and not expecting to get that sort of output level straight off the bat, because I reckon I'd burn myself out otherwise if I don't kind of work up to it. You almost got to acclimatize to it. That's probably a good word. But yeah, with this Spider-Man, it just sort of clicked for me one day. I was like, oh shit, there were these like Spider-Man covers that were very specific. I just absolutely, like even looking at the fingers here, like without even thinking, it's just the stuff when you're a kid that like sticks with you and like appeals to you. It's kind of cool. Oh yes, Merry Christmas to everyone as well. And Merry whatever you celebrate. Hope you all had a great, or you had or are having a great little break. Kiara, will you do workshops or mentorships in the future? I'm thinking about it. Got to figure out the logistics of that, but yes. What resolution do you work on for Instagram? I believe the resolution is, what is it? Oh, I feel so free with this microphone. I'm fucking loving it. What is the canvas size? 4320 by 5400 pixels. Mixter, back at ya. Hope you had a good one as well. When did you really start trying to improve your art skills? I've always been trying to improve my art skills, but in different ways. For example, with this more stylized stuff, probably the last 2 years. But I've always, without posting anything, with no real thought of doing anything with it, I always love to draw and paint, like digitally mainly, and just figure out stuff. Like I've always loved just figuring out things, whether it be art or whatever, you know? Like how do I, like if other people have done it before, there's no reason why I can't figure it out. That's kind of my general, not philosophy, but just like mode of operating. If it's something I want to do and someone's done it before me, how do I, like it's possible, obviously. So how do I do that and then do it in my own way? Or why do I, like, a big question is why in the first place, which sort of keeps the momentum going as well. Oh, Jim Klein, I'll have to check it out. Yeah, Humberto, I'll have to check that out, definitely. Toki, great to have you. Welcome, good to have you back. Ben, you are the one who goes live and teaches stylized stuff in details and also free. Love you, bro. Back at you, Legend Devil. Appreciate you. Fahar, good night, my friend. Is that like a good night as in a hello or good night as a goodbye? I'm not sure. Ashlyn, yes, that as well. Mike Bignola. I agree. What I want to do is do like what I've got an idea of is like I'll show you another sketch that I'm kind of working on. That's just the thumbnail. That's the halftones. This is just a nothing burger. This sort of sketch here. So this is another idea that I'm playing around with. Just a sketch at the moment, right? But it's sort of like this person that likes tinkering on her like mech, I guess. So this is an interesting, like, I don't know if it might not be interesting. But for example, I've never really drawn mech stuff, right? So my way of wanting to learn how to draw mech stuff is, okay, let's create a character and a reason to draw mech stuff. Okay, so this character, she's got a mech suit, right? So now I've got to figure out, okay, why, like, what does the mech suit, like, what scenario is this going to be, like World War II, World War I, is it going to be futuristic, is it going to be blah, 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 blah. So there's like meaning behind it and story, and that's going to help things stick a little bit more, I think. Because depending on the era as well, is gonna determine like how many little like nuts and bolts and rivets and whatever are gonna be around everything as well. So that's something to take into account. I can't remember where I was going with that. But yeah, that's another thing that so I want to mash it, that's where I want to mash up sort of like your anime with the Western style, with stylized stuff. Like I want to try and figure out something in between there, with my own sort of flavor, if that makes sense. I don't know. I can see it in my head. I've just got to get it onto the page. So that's kind of a goal, is to explore some more of that in the new year, which will be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Ayushman. To YouTube Shorts, how do you pre-make your window to record it? You can do that in OBS if you want. I do a lot of it custom, so I'll record bits and pieces and then do it in editing afterwards. My face looks like my stylized art. Everyone says that. I don't know why. I don't think so, but I don't think it's like a bad or good thing. It's just something that people say all the time. Mr. Brightside, did you learn anatomy, or are you just drawing what you see and then exaggerating it, and then through that you learned it by doing it so many times instead of actual anatomy-centered practice drawings? No, I would do like anatomy-centered drawings, but I've said this so many times, people are gonna be fucking sick of me saying this. Understanding simple 3D shapes for me comes before learning anatomy or even thinking about anatomy. All right, so for example, I know that behind this elbow, right? Within this elbow, where's my color window? I'm liking the feeling of this just like, this is just random art stuff and figuring shit out. All right. So I know in this elbow, now I can't I'm gonna do this off the top of my head, I might fuck it up, who knows? But I know that this is like the ulnar bone, right? And this sort of sits within this one here, kind of. It's probably not 100% correct. And then this one here, I can't remember what that one's called. Right, so I do have an understanding of like around about where the bones are, because if you, like I've tried to remember, like, okay, the elbow is connected directly pretty much to like the outer part of like that little notch on your hand. Like if you can almost see the bone there. So it's like little things like that, but this is like, it moves as well. So, but I do understand the anatomy to a certain degree, but if I couldn't draw, or let's get this back. If I couldn't draw like a simple cylinder, none of this really matters. Like all this internal like bones and shit. Because I mean, the bones and stuff are broken up into cylinders and all that kind of stuff. If I did want to draw this, he doesn't need to be, I don't need to show all my anatomy knowledge in this, right? I did this little pokey outy thing here. Why? I don't know, I couldn't tell you. I probably saw someone else do it and I was like, that's kind of cool. But a mixture, like a hybrid between like deep understanding of like anatomy, for example, like the jaw here, right? I think about this as like a hard bony surface, right? So then I know if I'm gonna move him, right, this isn't gonna really change. This can't really be deformed that much apart from having a hinge like here, right? Apart from this like hinging down, this whole structure is gonna be like solid. Right, that's pretty exaggerated, but you get the point. Whereas, if I'm thinking about the cheeks here, right, you got his cheek bone. I know that there's like a bone, it's like where you might have heard like bony landmarks. Jesus Christ. Bony landmarks are super important because it's kind of what the squishy stuff hangs off of. So let's say, like the mouth here, if we scoop this mouth up so he's like smiling even more, I might want to indicate that the squishiness of this eye, or of this cheek, sorry, sort of squishes up. So that's like movable. Okay, so I'm not thinking about necessarily, oh, this is the muscle. I couldn't even tell you what this muscle is, or any of the muscles of this here, like in the face. I know more about the sort of bones, or know more about, like I can tell you, okay, there's a cheekbone here. And like I can kind of draw the skull from memory if I had to. Right, and you've got the eye sockets and blah, blah, blah. Right, I think this is super valuable. But before any of this, simple shapes, understanding how to draw a cube at will. Right, in perspective, then rotate that cube, and then draw a cylinder here, and then draw like a cube on one end that then goes into a cylinder. So there's like a transition, you know what I mean? Like this is the foundation of everything. Because you can get away with a lot with just knowing this stuff. At least I do. I get away with a lot just by, I'm not saying that I know it all by any means, but by me practicing and sort of laying down 3D shapes and understanding stuff more in 3D, I get away with a lot more rather than having like a perfect knowledge of anatomy. That was Rambletown, but I hope that made sense. Val Gomi, great to have you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Have I ever, Travis, have I ever considered game character design? Yeah. Not explicitly necessarily, but yeah, I guess any characters that I make, I could see them in games, I could see them in all sorts of places. Asian librarian building mech suit. Ooh, I like that. Is this another video that I'm getting wicked ideas from chat? Maybe, who knows? I like that. Asian librarian building mech suit for faster bookshelving and grocery getting on the weekends. I do like that. If you're looking for texturing stuff with digital art, Sam Does Arts has some good examples of that. Sam Does Arts, one thing I'll say about him and his artwork, one, it's fantastic, obviously, but his way of, what's the word? I guess you could just use it like brush economy, of saying a lot with very little, like with little effort, if that makes sense. Not effort as in like the effort that you put into the work itself, but just like with a brush stroke, or like how he just lays a gradient out. Love that stuff. Toki, happy holidays to you. Legend, Kim. Appreciate ya. Oh, Ayushman, did you say my face is breathtaking? I appreciate it. I'll take that. Yeah, Toki, that's a very good point. I've heard that before, that we end up actually using our own proportions. And I think maybe I'm overconfident because I've got like tiny little ears, like for the size of my head. Like I've got a big ass head. So I'll, for whatever reason, I'll go the opposite and I'll draw like massive ears on people all the time. They're just like a really like nice thing to convey in 3D space, you know? There's just something solid that I enjoy. Is that Morse code? I appreciate it, Jim. Yeah, so anyone, check out these comic book, what are they called? Issues. Crimson. All right, I'm gonna have to go and digging for some of these books that's been mentioned. That's awesome. Appreciate you, Jim. Do you still keep style reference on the side? Yeah, a lot of the time. Priyank, appreciate you, the first super here, the first donator, absolute legend, appreciate you. You do full-time art or YouTube? What's the difference, my friend? Yeah, I do full-time content creation. I want to up the game of my YouTube videos dramatically in the next year. I've got some big lofty goals. Also, little hack for those doing line work stuff. Don't be afraid to chuck some smoothing on. There's nothing wrong with it. All right, let's go back to our reference here. So let's have his knee kind of cross over. I was actually looking at Diego Lucia on Instagram. Go check him out. How he was sort of setting up the knee. Right, so you can almost, this is why, again, 3D shapes, right? 3D shapes are fucking sick. They're the best. Because you can start them off like this. Like if you want this knee, like this, imagine it like a flat plane, right? Then that's going like back in space. And then we can say, okay, maybe we have this other knee, but it's going to be sort of facing that way a little bit more, right? So now we've got some sort of landmarks that we can say, all right, this is sort of facing more towards this way, bam, bam, and this one's sort of facing more kind of sideways, and it gives a dimension. Then I've seen him do this sort of thing. We're going to be kind of looking on top of him, so we could do that. Right, and then you can sort of slap the kneecaps on there if you did want to. Maybe we give him shorts or something different. Right, this is, I mean, I'm going to erase this because I'm doing more like line worky stuff, but it is just something to, I could just like erase it. Maybe he's wearing sandals. Maybe this is coming down a little bit more. Yeah, there's some proportion issues here, but we can fix that. Dude, I'd love to see a brush economy challenge video render with only a few strokes. I think I saw a 15 max. I think I saw a 15 max for an Apple. I'm not sure what that last thing means, but brush economy challenge, that'll be sick actually. That's a very good idea. Big Brush, hello from Ukraine. Great to have you, Big Brush. Big Brush Tony, I like the name. Where's your comic book or graphic novel? Non-existent, my friend. Nah, no comic book or graphic, what I call it? Actually, no. We'll see. We'll see. You got 62.4K in a year. That's not bad. Yeah. I was, mind you, that number is kind of like neither here nor there. It's awesome and I'm super appreciative of it, of course. But my goal, this comes back to focusing on the things that you can control. I can't control the number of people that subscribe, right? And from a pure, if we think analytics standpoint, subscribers don't really move the needle. It's sort of like the individual pieces of content and how, because you've got people that have like millions of subs that have like, that are getting like only a couple of thousand views on their videos, right? So it's kind of neither here nor there, but I like obviously super appreciative. I'm not saying that, but this helps me keep sane. I'm only focusing on the things that I can control, and it's the quality or the perceived quality that I think of the content that I can put out, right? That's the only thing that I can control. So that's the only thing that I'm focusing on. Am I gonna get a plaque or apply to get a plaque? If and when we hit 100K, you bet your sweet ass I'm gonna get that. But it's sort of not the main goal just to like rack up a shit ton of subs. Although again, it'll be awesome if and when it does happen. But I just want to get better at storytelling. I want to get better at sort of explaining things, sort of making my mark somehow on the platform. Keep doing these streams, having fun with it. And yeah, it's just like, it's a big puzzle. It's a big fun puzzle to solve that'll never be solved. It just keeps rearranging itself. But that's the fun of it. Gnome Doodles. Hi Ben, I love your art and your art instruction videos. By the way, are you doing live tutoring? I don't have any live tutoring planned, but it's not off the cards by any means. Oh, you found it. You found him, Travis. You're doing this one as well, yeah? Because this was actually from a couple of streams ago, but quite a few streams ago actually, I think. Let's just put an indication of the other hand there, maybe like the thumb. So now doing a bit of invention here. All right, now let's scribble. Let's get rid of this. Now I was thinking about doing some like Blender stuff, but I don't know if I've got the brain capacity to do that today. Had one of our dogs run away earlier on today because there's been massive storms and a little blocker that we had to our gate blew over. So that was a big run around and yeah, just my energy's sapped. And that, because I'm not as used to it, it does take a lot of mental energy for me. Like the sculpting. This is why I'm just chilling, hanging out, nothing super involved, just chipping away. CGI, let's have a look. CGI visual. For example, if you make a storyboard of a movie, create characters and make animation drawn movie episodes a bit, and can someone steal it and use it on his purpose, or is it already copyrighted work? I'm not a lawyer, so I don't entirely know. But I think a lot of like copyright stuff has to do with if you're willing to fight it at the end of the day, right? It may be technically correct, but if you're willing to go to court for it, that's another question. But yeah, I don't know, to be perfectly honest with you. Oh, Toki, doing a 3D modeling course, that's wicked. Any tips? Keep it simple to begin with. Just like drawing, just like painting, keeping it simple to begin with is gonna be the biggest help, at least that I had when thinking about sort of 3D modeling, sculpting, whatever. As soon as you start going into those bloody details, it can quickly turn into a fucking nightmare. You've made me realize the importance of knowing the 3D shapes when drawing too. That's awesome, Toki. And again, this is just me. This is just my thoughts. Go get other thoughts from other people and stuff. So I don't want to be like I'm not saying that I am, but just go around to other people and see if that clicks with you. If it does, if it doesn't, you know. Travis, if I ever become a famous character artist or 3D modeler, I have you to thank. Nah, I appreciate you, my friend, but you have yourself to thank. If and when that happens. You're doing the work. But for brush economy, I previously saw Ahmen Aldoori paint an apple with only 15 strokes. Yeah, that was sick. That was a very good idea. Ayushman, I think subs are more like a quality check of any YouTube channel. A random user will get the impression, oh, this person has 1 million subs, he's probably really good. 1000%. Like, this is where there's no black and white with any of this stuff that I'm saying. There's no right or wrong. Definitely. It's very, like, subs are great, like, social proof. It's like, oh, fuck, all right. 1 million people are sub to this person. Well, should be pretty decent, you know, which is tricky when you're starting up because you haven't proven yourself yet. You don't have that sort of base of people that are just like ride or die. Yep, cool, every video, bam, bam, bam. I mean, I got some regulars, don't mind. Yeah, I got you guys in stream. I like the people that are freaking absolute legends popping in and hanging out. But yeah, keeping those numbers up and really the quality of the content as high as possible is the biggest goal. And bugger it, all of it's the goal. It's but yeah, as I said before, it's a fun game, very, very fun game that I think can be learned. And I'm trying to learn it. And document the process along the way as well, which would be sick. Travis, do you think I'll get to color on this stream? Possibly, maybe so. Maybe some simple bits of color. We can have some fun with it. Ben, I'm enjoying your course. Kim Klein, Ben, I'm enjoying your course. Do you plan on creating more courses? Creating more courses in the future? A reminder to the chat, Ben has a course is really good and is also affordable and a good way to show support. Your check's in the mail, my friend. No, I appreciate the shout out. Yes, I've actually got a larger course in the works for 2024. There's not too much more that there is to say on that. But yes. Raynaud. Hey man, first time watching the stream, love your work. Lately I've been struggling with a character. I have a completely clear picture of it in my head, but I just can't get it onto paper. Any tips? I often have the opposite. I see this is gonna sound weird, and I don't know if this like vibes with anyone else. It doesn't make any sense when I'm gonna say, I see a vibe or a feeling of what I want the character to be. I don't see it clearly, if that makes sense. It's just like, I can like, yeah, it's like a feeling that I want to evoke. And when I see that feeling in front of me after I've drawn it, then I know, okay, cool, I'm happy with it. So that's kind of like my check for if I'm going in the right direction or not. Does that make sense? Does anyone else get that? Because some people, as you're saying, you can see it clearly in your head, and that'd be freaking sick. If I can just be like, all right, what am I drawing today? Okay, that's what it's gonna look like. Sick. And away you go, you know? But you're having trouble getting it onto paper. It's really hard to say without sort of knowing you or your tendencies and your goals and blah, blah, blah. But I would say even like start smaller scale instead of maybe doing the full character, maybe just do the head. See if you can get the head feeling right. And if you can't get the head feeling right, just get the head shape. What general head shape are you after? And then see if you can sort of start from there and sort of use it as a foundation to build on top of, if that makes any sense at all. Liga Lag, this is my first live. Great to have you. Welcome, my friend. Big Brush Tony, did you try to paint in brushstrokes straight from the beginning? It's very liberating to create something from a cloud, but it lacks structure. I go back and forth with that, you know. Sometimes I've been forcing myself, I've been trying to do more not painterly, like looser initial sketches. So I can, like this is an example of that, right? So this is the first, this one. So this is like a scribbly sort of idea, right? And from that, I wanted to kind of pull out a little bit of a clearer idea. And then from this, I'll go over the top and over the top and over the top. It's fun. I really actually enjoy that way of working. Whereas my tendency is to be really tight up front, and I'm not sure that is something that serves me well or not. In certain circumstances it could. Because at the same time, I love like Rembert Montaud, or like your Kim Jong-gi or your Karl Kapinski's, how they like even the brush pen stuff, you know, like it's just like, bam, it's there. That's sick to me. And I want to learn how to do that as well. Dazzling, appreciate ya. Keanu, great to have you. Time zone is a bitch. Believe you me. Dazzling, yeah, you see the feeling as well. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's just like, oh, yeah. Ben, when you travel or are running around, do you carry a sketchbook? I gotta tell you, I haven't traveled or run around in years. So no, not really. But I've made a plan to come to the US in 2024 to try and get into Lightbox. That's a big sort of end of year 2024, like everything builds up towards that. So start getting some of the physical products going, getting some prints, so it's sort of I can have something to display at Lightbox. So that's my goal. That's if I get accepted into it. Blissful, appreciate you. I think the most fun part of drawing in a stylized way is taking artistic liberties. Agreed. Liga Lag, how do you get so much character onto the screen so quickly? Lots of practice, my friend. Lots and lots of practice. And you might see things and be like, oh, this is cool. All I see are mistakes here. And that is never gonna change. I'm like, oh, this doesn't make sense. These knees are kind of whack, you know? And I'm trying to analyze what I do as well. Like for this course, it's like a proper course. It's less of a tutorial. It's more like, okay, this is like a proper real deal shebang-a-bang sort of thingamabob. But it's like, how, it's like even the strokes that I'm trying to do, I'm trying to think about them. Seldom am I like doing a continuous stroke that sort of goes all the way through something. I'll often do this kind of stuff. Like even for this kneecap here, it's gonna be like bam, stop, bam, bam, bam. So it's like very like herky-jerky almost, like bam, 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 bam. And I'll like speed up and like slow down, like ease in and out of some of these shapes as well. So yeah, I'm trying to figure it out myself, or how to explain it at least. Sick Day, I like the name. Have you tried animating in your head? It helps me create a clear picture of what I have in mind and also allows me to keep the image in my head for longer periods of time. Animating in my head, I've not done enough animation to get to that point yet, but I can imagine actually seeing it. For me, if I'm doing any animation, I'm trying to do it myself. Like if, like a head turn, I'll like record myself and like get that kind of sort of, yeah, vibe, I guess, for lack of a better word. Azzy, please Ben, any advice on how on how to break from realism to stylized drawing when using a photo reference? I hope I'm not repeating a previously asked question. That is a question that comes up a lot, and that's going to be a big part of the course. But what I can tell you is that it's a very, very, very big question, because it depends what you're going for, right? What's the goal of this? Are you trying to do caricature? I mean, and this is even the question I have as well. Is like, what is stylized? Stylized is going to mean so much to different people. You've got anime stylized, you've got caricature at a fair stylized, you've got slightly stylized, you've got barely recognizable stylized, you've got almost like grotesque stylized. So it really, I think, getting your goals in order and what sort of vibe, for a shitty word to use, but like what vibe are you trying to go after, you know? And that way then you can have a direction. And that way you can start looking at artists and seeing, okay, how did they do their eyes? For example, the eyes here are just like, bap, bap, bap. Literally 2 lines and an ellipse, you know? That's a very Disney-esque, like very simplified sort of line. So that's an influence that I got there for those eyes that I just chose to throw down. But if I was looking at someone else's sort of stylized stuff that I really want to sort of get a little bit more of, let's take like this for example. Well, it's all Spider-Man, so this is a shit example. Like if we were just to look at like her eyes here, right? How would we do, like I would go deep and I'd find artists that are like sick and that I love and I get that really like cool vibe from, because that's what's the thing that's going to get you going is like, yeah, my stuff's looking like this person's, you know, like I figured something out. Instead of feeling like you've got to do some arbitrary stylized thing, like there's no checklist to say, okay, this is now stylized. It's, yeah, I've got a real issue with the word actually, because I don't even truly know what it means. There's no real clear definition. But from a more practical standpoint, a lot of it is breaking it down into simple shapes. Right, because we come back here, you can tell it's kind of the same guy, but it's really not. Like I can just make these forearms just like bam, bam. Why? Couldn't tell you. Why not? That's my, but I'm thinking about them in simple shapes, right? So they make sense in perspective. Right, so you could have these like huge like muscles, but they're sitting on this cylinder that is the hand, or the arm, sorry. Right, so the simple or the foundational understanding of 3D shapes and blah, blah, blah gives me the freedom to do whatever the hell I want, which is wicked. And it's almost like you unlock the matrix. You're like, oh shit, everything is 3D shapes. What was I doing all my life? Dude, Lightbox would be well deserved. I appreciate it. I don't know about well deserved. If I can get in, that'd be awesome. All right, guys. I've remembered. I'm gonna have a quick 5-minute break. Then we might just start slapping some color on this guy. I feel like doing a bit of color before we wrap it up. So let's 5 min Briac. Okay, take this off. All right, I'll be back. hello. This thing is sick. Alright, how's that? That should do the trick. Alright, where were we? Big Brush Tony, thanks for the conversation. Of course, of course. Do I use PureRef? Yes, yes I do usually. But this is just a sort of, because I've got it going in Instagram as well. And it's just sort of what I had set up from challenges prior. But yeah, no, PureRef is sick. Blissful Ben, you'll definitely get into Lightbox, we'll see. You never know. I just grabbed my desk instead of grabbing your eraser. Jim Klein, blocking and drawings with primitive 3D shapes is some of the best advice an artist can follow. It lets you get lots of the work done with little effort. 1000%. Ashlyn, what if the lady with the mech is connected to the mystical forest mechanic like her mother or something? Oh, so we create like a whole world. And then it could link into the other YouTube video. That wouldn't be far off. I could imagine them in the same kind of, because she's like mechanic as well, mystical forest mechanic, and then she, oh, I like it, Ashlyn. I like your thinking. Jim Klein, that's another good point. Better to realize that the composition isn't working with a few strokes rather than detailing the living shit out of it and being like, oh, this sucks. Ah, Travis, that'd be sick to meet you. That'd be so cool. Jim Klein, it also makes you focus on the shape and gesture of the whole figure through the whole process. As long as the shape is interesting, your anatomy can be a little off. That will still look good. Agreed. If your composition is uninteresting but has great anatomy, you still have an uninteresting picture. 1000 bajillion% agree. Val Gomi, have you ever tried, is this annoying now with this here and when I drink? Because I can't get away from it. Can I do that? I don't know. My apologies if it is annoying. Val, have I ever tried designing a Guatemalan character? I've recently become obsessed with the Guatemalan patterns and looking around to see how different artists stylize their clothing. I'll have to check that out, Val. Kiara, can you recommend any videos for rendering portraits? Not off the top of my head. There are some good ones, I've just sort of drawn a blank at the moment. Oh my goodness, chat's going off. Oh, you got me, you got my back. You absolute legends. Thank you, mic off. You guys are great, thank you. Mixter, so who are some of your favorite artists that inspire you? Oh, let's just roll off a couple of names, you know. Let's start slapping some color in here. Let's just start having some fun. I mean, I'm having fun anyway, but we'll just have a play with some colors. I want to mess around with his like skin complexion and stuff. Let's think. Lowish, one, huge, love her work. Absolutely fucking fantastic, but you guys already know that. I really like Sean Cheeks Galloway on Instagram. Highly recommend checking his stuff out. Max Grecke, of course, you can probably see some of his stuff in my work, like a big influence, love his stylization. And Andre Blastich, probably butchering his name, but sculpting wise, oh la la, so good. Okay, what am I trying to do? I want to add what's going to be the fastest way to do this? Fuck it, let's just do filthy plugin, shout out, and just go around and give ourselves a shape. Not going to be perfect, but that's fine. Colour in the chicken. Dazzling, Ashlyn, and Dude, you freaking blissful Travis, love it. You guys are the real MVPs. I actually drew the legs. I need to add some to my chicken guy too. Yeah, and that's a good test as well. How can you take the reference that you've got and actually add to it? All right, we see no legs here. Add them legs. Leonardo, nice art design. Thank you. Hey Ben, I have a couple of questions. You don't have to answer them all at will. Be great if you just answered one. Cool idea, go for it, my friend. Arindom, what's your daily routine? Depends on the day. Oh no, something's happened. This sometimes happens with Photoshop. Oh no. Way, I can't draw, why? Photoshop, you absolute scumbag. Alright, I'm gonna have to start Photoshop again. Scumbag. Bear with me. My brush. On earth. Where's all my stuff gone? What? Is my keyboard broken? I think my keyboard ran out of freaking power. Hold on. Give me a sec. How ridiculous. Are you shitting me? No warnings, no nothing? Oh, and we're back, okay. My apologies, Photoshop, it was not your fault. My apologies, stream, for the mess around. We will be back in 2 moments. All right, we're back. Oh, is the mic? Oh, it's fixed? Okay. I'm way behind on chat, my apologies. My daily routine before Photoshop, before I forgot to charge the keyboard. It was completely my fault. I'll get up, have a glass of water, I'll go outside. Then ideally, if I'm living my best life, I've figured out what the highest priority things are to do that day. So then I don't have to sit around thinking about, oh shit, what should I do, blah, 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 blah. It's all sorted out for me. Then I'll probably make a coffee for my lady. Then, depending on if she's home or not, we'll sort of hang out and chat outside for a little bit, and then work. And it can change from day to day, right? It's not, this is the 1000% every day. Oh, excuse me. And then somewhere in there, I like to fit in the gym 2 to 3 times. I would like to get 4 times back up. 4 times a week, that'd be ideal, but we're at 2 to 3 at the moment, which sucks. But I'm not doing it as like a New Year's resolution thing, just do it. I shouldn't have to wait for the new year to do things. But yeah, that's about it. Rinse and repeat, and just the priorities change each day. It might be figuring out some of my most recent sort of priorities are figuring out packaging for the release of Plain Jane, my sculpture that will be releasing. I'm guesstimating a limited run, the first limited run in February, I think. That's what I'm aiming for. So that's been a lot of my priority as of late. So the reason I'm just blocking this out is it just gives me a good solid shape to then paint within, and I can just play with like the colors. What is this music? My apologies. When will we see you animate? Oh, Keanu, when I get good at it. Nah, I've got to start showing my process of that. Maybe it will be like a little side stream that I'll just be like, all right, animation Tuesdays, because I'm just going to be so shit at it for a while, and I don't know how interesting that's going to be from a content perspective. Like, I'm just thinking content-wise only. Just watching me struggle with animation, I really don't know how interesting that's going to be for anyone. But once I get into a rhythm, I can sort of get that going, you know, and start understanding things just a little bit more. Then I could see myself streaming animation. Doing some Procreate dreams sort of deal. Somewhere around the place, you know. Maybe doing some Blender animation, who knows? That's like a whole new world of like the 3D, and then you just watch my computer just explode. Okay, we've got a shape around him. Not perfect, but it is what it is. We're going to just play, right? Purple, hey Ben, love your work. I had a question. As an absolute beginner, learning to draw, I struggle with coming up with ideas, like what specific things I should I exactly draw to learn? Fucking chat. Okay, sometimes I think maybe I'm too technical brain to learn drawing, so I would love to know your thoughts on that. And also, is it realistically possible for someone in their early 20s to learn to draw from scratch? Thanks, Purple. I want to get that sort of doubt out of your mind as soon as possible. This early 20s, like whenever your brain can get into plasticity at any age, right? Plasticity. Now I'm a big Andrew Huberman fan, so this is coming from him. But basically learning new things, it is technically easier when you're younger, like you absorb more, but it never stops when you get older. So if this is something that you want to do and you want to learn, whatever it is, at any age, yes. Just get that whole thing of like, oh, is it too late, blah, 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 because I've had that myself. It's pointless, it's stupid, it doesn't help anyone. Because no one cares, one, what you think, oh, am I too old? And number two, it doesn't help you get close to your goals. So stop it. I'm talking to myself kind of there, because I always think about that when I'm learning new stuff. Okay. And things that you want to draw, it's completely up to you. I would start getting inspired by people. I'd start with emulation first, because that's like a good guide as to like, okay, how am I performing? What's looking correct? What's not, you know? And start playing. That's the biggest thing, instead of being like, okay, now it's structured and blah, blah, blah. I would even do it like how I would learn, like how I learned to code, right? I taught myself how to code throughout my 20s. I think when I was like 24 or something, I started. I'm 30 now. And the best thing, I think with learning anything, is doing it on a project by project basis. Instead of, for example, with coding, figuring out, okay, I'm just gonna like drill functions and I'm gonna like write a bunch of functions. What I should have done is, okay, what app do I wanna make? Okay, start trying to make the app. What do I need? I need something to show up on a screen. Okay, how do I do that? What's HTML? What's CSS? How do I, and that's my first goal. And that's the thing that I just go towards. Next, okay, how do I add things and like make things interactive? Okay, that's something called JavaScript. All right, what's JavaScript? How do I just get something? So you're sort of giving yourself goals based on, like, you're giving yourself little to-dos or tasks based on the goals that you have, versus I want to learn coding. And it's like, well, you've got no direction in that point, in that way. I think asking yourself why, and Jesus Christ, that's going to make it a lot more enjoyable. One, you're going to have a sense of progress a lot sooner. And yeah, that's how I'd tackle it, project by project basis. So a project might be, how do I draw a face like this? Okay, like I want this look. All right, let's break it down. Who did it? I did. All right, let's say. All right, what am I looking at? Let's break this down. Where are the lines here? Like, what are the shapes that he's doing? He's got like this big shape for the ear, big shape for the nose. Everything, I can try and start to like simplify it down. Right, okay, where is he putting his dark lines? Are there patterns here? It seems to be like underneath things. So it's like, all right, there's darker lines underneath the ear, underneath the nose, underneath the chin, underneath the hat. Okay, so there's like a pattern there. So you can see, hopefully that makes sense. I hope that, so breaking it down and doing it into projects, but also just like drilling the fundamentals as well. Nothing wrong with that. I like the rote learning style as well for some things. Sometimes you just got to crack open a textbook and figure out what variables are and what recursion is and blah, 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 blah. But even with that, doing little mini projects, like if I'm trying to figure out, like, for example, I'm trying to figure out how to do this more like cartoony line work stuff, right? I've got a board that I'll crack open that is comic style, right here. If the internet wants to work. And this is perfect procrastination fuel, because then I'll just go get a coffee and I'll be like, oh no, it's not, the internet's not working. I don't know if it's Pinterest or my internet. I hope you guys can still see me. Upstream error. What on earth is this? Can I get on any other website? Yep, no, just Pinterest. Upstream connect error. Whoa, okay, I've never seen that before. Interesting. So now I don't have any reference. Well, that's gonna make it fun. But yeah, what I would do, okay, we're back. So what I would do, go here, go to comic style. Come on, okay, now I'll look at what other people do. Where is this artist putting their dark sort of colors? What patterns, like what makes their shadows look like their shadows? They're not perfectly like black. They've got little like patchy bits and pieces in them. So then, okay, if I'm doing like a solid block of color here, or like a solid sort of dark like line to really make that pop out from behind his chest, I might not do it perfectly. I might make it a little bit hatchy, you know, to give that kind of more rustic sort of vibe. Hopefully that makes sense. But you got me on a little bit of a ramble there. Well done. Cool idea. Hopefully that ramble just helped with that question. Hungry, this face is pretty cool. Thank you. When stylizing your shapes like your limbs, do you not worry about making them too uniform? Yeah, I do. I do. So then I'll change them up. I'll flip them around. I'll do all sorts of things. I'll make them bigger. I'll use the transform tool just to play around, you know. So let's isolate this face because I would love to play around. If we only get some of these skin tones going, I'd be happy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Incorrect. Okay, so now we've got this sort of, let's do all of the skin tones. So I'll get back with chat in a sec. I'm way behind in chat, which is, I mean, yeah, chat's going nuts. Appreciate it. So I'm just going to go around these shapes here. Just all the skin. Oh, his knees are going to be skin, aren't they? And his feet. Alright, cool. Yeah, makes sense. So everything. Why does this screamo stuff? Oh, why not exactly be screamo, but you know what I mean. This heavy metal. Defensive to my head. No, it's not actually. There's a tiny place. But I will enjoy this stuff. But not right now. Okay. I don't know about you, like, I mean, obviously you guys aren't doing this, but this mic gives me so much freedom. Just to talk, there's something about it. Being like locked in a spot sucks. I feel so much more free. All right, so now we've got the skin, right? You guys see on the Instagram, you know what's going on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Jim Klein, fuck hell. You should check out The Art of Brett Parsons. I think you'd get a kick out of it. He has a great cartoony style with amazing shape language and line weights. His run on Tank Girl is great. Dude, I'm gonna have to come back in chat and check out these people. This is sick. Blissful, when learning how to render or color, where did you start? I started just by copying a lot of photographs. Was that the right way to do it? I don't know. What really got me to start understanding more about, so now just to let you know what I'm doing. I am, this chair is fucking soft. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Just software, whatever it doesn't matter. I'm gonna just chuck in some values here. I'll make his hands a little bit darker. Okay, anyone played Fortnite before? Does this not sound like a Fortnite song? Or just that beginning bit? I don't know, it just gave me like weird nostalgia kind of vibes. I'm thinking about nostalgia from a few years ago, mind you, but so I'm thinking about the light source. His hat, actually, that's going to be interesting. Maybe we have, maybe this is just the diffuse shadow. So this is imagining like, okay, if it's just like super diffuse, just as a beginning point, right? Oh, you know what? I fucked up. I fucked up in front. Undo it all. We need to do this on a separate layer and have this as a mask so we can be more usable later on. All right, so I want to just add in some, like, okay, I'm not even thinking about the like sunlight, for example, light source. I'm thinking about a very broad, soft, top-down light source, say from the blue sky, for example. This is going to be like the diffuse lighting. So yeah, learning lighting and rendering, oh, sorry, bit of a slip there. Understanding rendering and painting, I made the biggest leaps and bounds when I understood light, or started to understand more about light. Things just started to click, and then I could start inventing things, and then it was just game on. And I was just like, fucking let's go. Let's just start playing, you know? Alright, so now let's go on top here, use this. Oh, I've missed out. Fuck, that's annoying. Let's add in this here as well. That'll work. Add that to the mask. What? Thank you. And then this one goes here. No, he's come there. That's what I'm after. Cool. No, wrong. Wrong. No, messed it up again. If you come here, draw around this arm, grab this color, bam, get this, delete this layer mask, then create a new one, and now we're back in action. Thank the bloody Lord for that. Alright, and we're back. Now, occlusion shadows. Where can some of these occlusion shadows be? I might want to use the lasso tool for this, just to make some crispy sort of occlusion shadows. Alright, occlusion shadows, for those of you that don't know, are shadows where the light finds it the hardest to sort of hit. Right, so it's going to be in the creases, the cracks, the crevices, all those kinds of places where things touch, you know. So all in here. And this is by no means going to be a very clean sort of paint session. This is just me scribbling. Dazzling. Seeing through the struggle is neat, though. We can all learn together. That's true. That's one positive of doing it. I think we're talking about animation there. Ashlyn, the shape language you do in your work really is just gorgeous. Thank you, Ashlyn. I've been trying to break down other artists' shape language for my own art. It's so hard trying to get out of the realistic shape language. It is, and I think I found out why, at least for me, is because I didn't want my stuff to look bad. If that makes sense. I was like afraid of it looking bad. I've kind of just gotten rid of that fear, or sort of pushed it down, because it's like, yeah, not everyone has to see every bit of your work, you know what I mean? Do some bad ones, do a lot of bad ones. Mixter, legend again. Dude, look at you go. I appreciate you, my friend. Millie Bonfield, how do you learn to draw from imagination? 1, practice. Duh. I know, had to say it. 2, inventing shapes, learning to invent shapes, 3D shapes. That's one of the biggest helps. All right, now let's think about this light source. So I might just do like a little scooch of light there. This might be all in shadow. I'm not being super concerned about this. I'm just playing at the moment. Just playing, seeing what happens, you know. I was actually looking at Loish's workflow as well. She does this a lot, like does the lasso tool. Sort of just does a shape and then throws a gradient in there, which is really nice looking. So then you can decide, okay, underneath here is going to be the occlusion shadow, or maybe not even the full way along, just where it sort of touches the leg. Just there, you know. Slowly getting somewhere. Let's think about the light source, like the proper light source, the key light source, the professionals call it. Mixture D, 30? I thought you were like 23, 24, mixture. I appreciate you. What a compliment. I've got a young soul. Shadow of the Wolf 123. Did you ever struggle with being moderately good at drawing? I feel my art skill has kind of plateaued at an adequate level, but I feel far from a professional level and struggle with motivation. Yes. It was around 2 years ago where I was just sick of like copying stuff, and I was like, yeah, I can understand some stuff. I know how to like render shit and blah, 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 but I want to take it into my own exploration, different characters, figure out how to do characters, how to do stylization, all that sort of stuff. So yes, definitely. I've gone through that, and I still go through that sometimes. Hungry, very good call. Using PureF as the backup. Oh, Pinterest must have just had a little hiccup. Purple, this really helped a lot. Thanks, my pleasure. Ernesto, hello, I'm your fan. I've been wanting to dedicate myself to concept art for a while, but I haven't been given the opportunity. And the topic of AI has me very worried. What do you think about it? I'm not a concept artist, so I don't know. I'm a weird hybrid of normal artist, content creator. Like, I've come into this industry through the back door. I feel like I'm sort of trying to figure out my own thing. A lot of other people have done similar stuff, but I've not gone the traditional route, and I'm not particularly looking for, or I'm not weighing my future income on that of studios. You know what I mean? If a studio wants to work with me and we can talk, and that'd be fantastic, blah, blah, blah. And it's already happened, which is sick. But that's all come from sort of building this sort of following online that I've gotten so far. So I've come at it a really different way. And AI, I'm not competing with AI because I'm putting myself out there, what I've learned. I'm doing a bit of sculpting, I'm doing a bit of drawing, I'm doing a bit of this, a bit of that. I'm sharing the characters and the experiences that I have. I'm being on camera, I'm editing the videos, I'm putting it into a story, you know what I mean? So I'm building a moat around what I'm putting out, that there's no real competition, if that makes sense. Well, I don't look at even other content creators as competition. I look at them as collaborators. So there's going to be a lot of different ways, and there are a lot of different ways to make a living other than just like concept art and going down the studio route. But on the other hand as well, if you did want to go down that route, again, it's not something that I can really talk to because I've not done that. So I don't really feel comfortable talking on that myself. But I've seen that a lot of studios are not, from the AI kind of thing, they're not having it. They don't want to risk the legal implications. So that's my take on it as well. I learned rendering the same way. That's so funny. Yeah. I popped out of Toy Story. I'll work with Pixar. Look, there you go, Pixar. You want to slip into my DMs, we'll talk. It's not even, I don't even think I'm there yet. But I'm just enjoying doing my own thing as well. Like, this is fun. I'm figuring this whole social media stuff out. And as I keep this going, like, I'm very, very happy growing this into something big, you know, as big as I can. Oh, sorry, Ore. Oh, fuck. I don't even know how I could say this name, so I'm not even going to try. But it looks like O-R, I believe it's Russian, maybe? Or that kind of language. O-R-H, Oreheronobin. My deepest apologies. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all. Back at ya. Lunax, hello. I never comment on streams, but I have to compliment your style and your in-depth explanations on workflow. Appreciate you, Lunax. No, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Just joined the stream. Is it just me or is your voice a bit too quiet? Had to double the volume on this stream. Ah, that sucks. I hope not. Is that the same for everyone? Hold on. Maybe I've just got to, because this is a new mic. I'll scooch him up a bit to see if that helps Boris. Destries her best. I love your YouTube videos. Can you make more YouTube videos other than streams? Yes, that's the plan for 2024. Going deep into the YouTube game, for sure. Ben, draw some stylized noses from different angles. Is that a demand or a question? All right, let's look here. So I want to, because it would be easy just to have top-down lighting, right? But then his whole face is going to be in shadow. That could be a tool that I could use to make it kind of cool in a way. I could really like overexpose the bright parts and like have the shadow parts be the part where all the detail is seen. But I think I'm going to try this kind of angle, right? So really like cross lighting, sunset, sunrise, one of them. So if that's the case, then we can start to understand that, all right, this is going to cast a shadow. All on the neck. Right, now it's starting to get a little bit of volume. Then we can come here and just go. So that's going to be in shadow. This thumb might be in shadow. This part of the arm could be in shadow, will be in shadow. Right, and just with that, we're starting to get some volume here, you know? Even here, this could cast a little bit of a shadow. Here, right, this is going to be hit by the light. So all underneath here, shadow bloody everywhere. And this is going to be not maybe as light, who knows? I don't know, don't ask me. Aru say, Joe, really dig your style, thank you, appreciate you. Levi Oaks, preach. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I appreciate it. I can't remember, it was probably a few minutes ago of what I was talking about. I don't know if it's a lack of shoes on the old man, but I keep picturing him on a beach looking at the ocean. Could be. Travis, appreciate you. Denise, great to have you. Dark Renaissance, yes, take it on. Yeah, not so loud, but it's okay. I love your background music. Okay, cool, cool, good to know. Better, thank you. Didn't want to make the stream louder, otherwise the background music would be too loud relative to your voice. Good call, Boris, good call. Shady, welcome. Diamantito, great to have you. Ever just look back at a sketchbook and ask what energy did I have for this? Not really. Not particularly. I don't think about the energy. It does bring back memories of like time, like what was I doing at that time, you know, like what was going on in my life and blah, 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 which is kind of cool. I don't have that many sketchbooks, like sketches. It's really just looking back at, a lot of it is looking back at old like Photoshop files, which is so like 2024 of me, or still 2023. Let's get this gradient going on his face, because his face is going to wrap around, right? The light's going to hit the front, that's going to be the brightest part, and it's going to slowly wrap around. So let's see what we can do. We're doing a little bit of this transition. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not. Let's just add a new layer. Let's just be safe. Add a new layer. And then, up. All right, even this nose, right? Seeing that there, that just gives it just another level of believability. Right? It's like a 3D object being affected by light. And this is the fun part, right? This is figuring it out. Like at what point does the light kind of wrap around? Where are the deeper points? Does this jowl here, does that cast a bit of a shadow potentially? That's kind of cool. Does he have like more kind of, let's say here, just a shade darker. So now we've kind of rounded out the face just a tad. Now I cannot be bothered going super duper deep into detail here. So I'll just add in some indication of more shadow where I think it might be. And then we might slap on some skin color. Could really do this for the whole character. So this is where I can feel myself getting into Noodle Town and going, oh, what about the details? What about this? What about that? Shut up. It doesn't matter right now. I like to do stuff like this, even if it's temporary. It can be like a nice framing tool as well. Just to like put the character in some kind of place, you know. But let's just slap some color around, bugger it. What are we waiting for? So I feel like he's going to be more on the tan side, so let's add this in here. Let's give him a flip around. All right, so you notice how this makes him look very like plastic and just shit, kind of. This is where the color variation comes in, right? So, what we can do is we can just add, like keep adding more layers. Let's maybe make the shadows more of like a blue. Actually, no. Oh fuck, what do I want to do? So many different ways to do this. What do I want to do? let's go here. Let's go multiply, not color burn, multiply you, enough. Come here, crank up the colors. Let's come here. Add a bit of a more blue sort of tinge to the shadows, right? So this kind of grounds him a little bit more in a realistic lighting scenario, maybe-ish. If you know what I mean. It's gonna be a bit of spillover, but that's fine. Right, then we can come back over and just continue to do this. We could, what I'm going to do is multiply again, not colour burn, multiply. That's how you do it. Now I'm going to add some redness in certain parts, and this is going to darken some of these parts down as well. So now his nose, his ears, I like doing this. A lot of my characters look like they've got a head cold to begin with, which is something that I don't necessarily want, but this is just a quick way to really add some character, even with the hands, the fingers. Alright, we can always knock this back as well, isn't it perfect? Bless you. The knees. Alright, the feet. Maybe the feet are just like really sunburnt, like stupid sunburnt. I really didn't have a plan for this stream, so this is just, we're winging it, baby. Blissful, are you using reference for the light? Nah, just winging it. Dark Renaissance, or Renaissance. Where is this character from? There was a reference photo that we used earlier on. Cherry, welcome. Yep, it's still on. Great to have you. Fu Win, I was struggling with the eye pupils and the eye pupils, and I found your tutorial on Pinterest. Thank you. My pleasure. Glad you enjoyed it. Finn, hey bro, what's happening? All right, and we've also cut off a bit of the glasses there as well, which I do want to bring back. But let's think about this, okay? We might have some 5 o'clock shadow. So I might want to cool this down on his chin a little bit, you know, like his cheeks, where he would have some of that facial hair. Can even feel a little bit green sometimes, depending on who you're looking at, you know. And what I'd like to do sometimes as well is colour the line work. So we can come through here and give it like extra depth and coolness. That's a lot of what I'm looking at. Does this look cool, you know? Is this thing that I'm doing right now, does it look any good? If yes, keep doing it. If no, some stuff needs to change. Right, so it kind of knocks it back, that line work a little bit. I might keep it in there actually, the line work, like keep it as is and just like paint around it. Give him a hairy wart. Oh, I don't know. I like it because he hasn't slept because of that darn chicken. It could be a rooster. Just keeping him up. Lisa GS, great to have you. It's nice to see Grunkle Stan relaxing. Okay, let's add some more color variation. I might do multiply again. Now we could start using the lasso tool. Maybe he's got some of these things going on, you know. He's a bit weathered. He's also got to have some of his hair here. Maybe his hair's white. I like that idea of his hair being white. White. Oh no. Oops. But it's not going to be white because it's going to be in shadow. So we might even blue tinge it just a tad. It's going to be quite dark if we think about it logically. Now, I've got a base here, right? Excuse me. Let's just start straight up painting, baby. So this is where I'm going to really think about, well, I'm thinking about it all like the whole time. But the light direction, what's hitting, where is it hitting, why is it hitting, where are the planes, you know? Can I make this feel more realistic? Do I want it to feel more realistic? Right, even here, just having that edge. Now I'm just painting straight on top, you know, I'm not doing any layer modes. Maybe that's just going to catch like a bit of that light. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I don't like that. I definitely don't like that. But then we can think, okay, maybe the top of this chin is going to catch a little bit more light. So now I'm just playing. That's it. I mean, really, I'm doing it the whole time I'm playing. I'm just keeping adding layers. Maybe we do color dodge. All right, get a little bit. I'm going to remove. Let's see if there's another. Is there another brush that I could try? This rectangular one that I was just playing with. Just that difference between the light and the shadow. I like just adding a bit of that saturation there. It's not perfect. It's not technically 1000% accurate, but it's fun to do, so I shall do it. Lisa GS, great to hear it. Ario, I appreciate that. Cherry, wing it till it starts looking weird, then fix it method. That's my specialty. Petite Capron, hey, I love your work. How can we support you? I appreciate it. You can support me, the main way is through checking out my Gumroad. That's the main way. All the links are in the description. Yeah, checking out the links in the description essentially, getting this filthy autofill plugin that can support me. But yeah, just hanging out, being cool, keeping me company, that's supporting me as well. So I appreciate you asking though. Finn, you need the hair to be thin white grey strands, I think is what you're trying to say. Yeah, but it's in the shadow, so we've got to take that into account as well. So if we're thinking about the light source coming this way, let's look at here. This is going to be hit most by the light source. So we can do a bit of this. He's looking a little bit Robert De Niro-esque as well, which I don't hate. I've got a chicken on my head. So then the light source, again, probably going to be hitting this little lip in here more intensely. Let's actually change to screen. Screen's a good one for lights if we're doing it quickly, right? I could just pick the color and try and get it bang on, which, you know what, I might just do. I might just completely abandon that idea and just come here, bump up the values and just slowly go around. And the rendering can be pretty therapeutic as well, just like slowly trying to figure out what's working, what's not. It's a long skinny smudge. No, it's a smudge brush. Not something I need. What I do want to do is get rid of these shape dynamics. That's going to help me. So it's more blocky, right? So now I'm making this transition on the chin here. So it's starting to get somewhere, you know. It's not the best thing in the world, but we're playing. We're finding our way. Slowly but surely. My stream audio is too low, is it? It's up. I don't want to be in your ear holes, you know. Oh, shit. Lost the magnet. Oh, so I went down the pants on. Up higher. Let's give that a shot. New mics. A few struggles. I'll start the chicken, maybe not this stream because it's getting pretty late here. It's 10:25 here. I'm just playing around with skin tones at the moment. Or when you're going to cook the chicken. I do need to cook the chicken. I need to cook a chicken. I need to cook chicken that's in the fridge because I haven't had dinner yet. So that is not untrue. Ario Ebenezer, love from Nigeria. Great to have you. It still boggles my mind. We've got people from all over the place. It's so sick. Alexis Damaso, great to have you. Welcome. CGI. No, this is actually the CGI. This is the DGI. DGI. The DGI something. I was looking at all the reviews and it seemed like the better one to go for, at least for what I was looking at doing. You know what I mean. Love from India, dz.mp4, appreciate you on Instagram. This is another thing with streaming, it's like a juggling act. Because you're doing a bit of painting, you're doing a bit of reading, you're doing a bit of replying, you're doing a bit of thinking. It is really spinning multiple wheels. And it's a bloody good time as well. Audio is good? Fantastic. Okay, cool. Tyrone from Utah. Fantastic. I'm from Saudi and it's still working hours here. Cherry. Oh, cool. Nice one. Alexis, I'm trying to copy your art style because I love it. Sweet. Hopefully you can get something from these streams. Love from France, you really helped me. Never end this live. North Winters. Never end, I'll just keep it going. Finn, compare the picture to the sketch. Let's go back to our references, which was, and these references are in the description as well, what I was using. I think it was stream figure reference, maybe? Or like on other streams as well, I've got these in the description, and Pinterest is shitting itself, so I can't. My apologies. Code Red Magnet gone. Hello from Brazil. Bruno, Grace, Studio, Bonnie, and Clyde. Very cool, great to have you. Pia in Cantalupo. Hello. Finn, hello from Australia too, mate. Ah, we've got an Aussie in chat, nice. Love from Romania, Lisa GS. Hi from Italy, this is so cool. This is sick. Appreciate you guys joining me, keeping me company. And it's a bit of an eclectic one, this stream, if I'm honest, you know. It's a bit all over the place, but I don't hate that either. I don't hate the fact that it's a little bit of this, you know, a little bit of that. I can't wait to like incorporate some like sculpting into it as well, like real life sculpting and figuring out. Then we can do like studies, so we can actually like sculpt stuff. I'll do like my overhead camera, sculpt stuff, then come back here and like take a photo and do a study of it. It's just gonna be crazy, mate. So here I'm trying to find some planes that aren't obvious, like even this cheekbone, maybe it's a little bit gaunt, so his cheek sort of goes in a little bit, you know. So there's going to be a gradient here, and maybe into like a hard, just like bam. Something like that, does it look right? I don't know. Then we can start adding some more color variation if we want. We can even start adding in some of these blue, like I want to really cool this down, cool all the shadows down. So what I'm going to do is pop a lot of these towards the cooler shades. All right, because I do want to, oh, the music stop. Oh. Bear with me. View more. And we're back. So I'm just going to experiment with some of these sort of little color variations in the skin, you know. Even going a little bit dark around the eyes, because that's going to be in shadow, right? But not being afraid to throw some of these sort of wacky colors in there as well. Why? Why not? An interesting thing here is this is actually going to create a light source underneath his brow here, right? So I'm not entirely sure I like that, so I'm just going to knock that back a little bit with the normal skin tone. But this here, this is going to bounce up underneath his eye a little bit. Well, it could do, right? Maybe not that intensely. A little bit of some of that is going to bleed in. Maybe even underneath here, all the downward facing planes. It's a little bit too intense, but that's fine. We can knock that back. Just keep going. Keep going and going and going. Got a little crease in the nose, why not? No harm in that. And I might want to add a little bit of like a tint. So I might do color. Let's say warm this whole thing up. Or like make it more, a little bit warmer, just overall. We could do that, almost like sunset. Just touch it, just a little bit, like that, and then knock it back. And then we can come through and do the same deal. And just keep playing. I'm going to start doing some more color variations and hue shifts. I might even start just using the lasso tool straight up. Throwing in some happy accidentes. A little bit on the cooler side. Now the reason I can get away with some of these like crazy colors that they don't look bad. They don't look great, but they don't look bad. It's because of values, right? If we turn this black and white, they still sit within that shadow sort of value range, if that makes sense. So I might want to add in some of these cooler I want to match that value. There we go. I'm just trying to figure some stuff out here, because then we can come and just add like crazy. Let's say we could come over the top of it, or we could do it in more the shadows here, like add in some of these big like blocks of just value that are pretty close to the sort of shadow value. I mean, his neck's not green, right? But the values are there, so why not? Maybe I don't like that. So then I can sort of knock it back a little bit, desaturate some of these greens, even have a hint of some of these greens in this, all these like cooler colors in the shadows here, so it sort of fits together a little bit nicer, if you know what I mean. But we need to get a little bit more finesse with this whole section here. So we don't want to all just like crazy town. Because maybe here is a little bit darker behind the ear. Doesn't look right, doesn't look right. I'm gonna say it, doesn't look right. So we're gonna go back and do majority more. Oh, what I could do though, what I could do is come over the top of it, color, get some of the skin tones and just go over it. So it brings it a little bit back into reality, right? A little bit more into the realm of skin, but it's still fun, you know? Let's catch up with chat. It's been an hour and you've drawn 14 of your OC's faces. Bloody, that's good. Good effort. Hi, Rita from Morocco. Thanks for sharing thanks for sharing this with us, Ben. My absolute pleasure. I'm starting to fade. Finn, what about the ear? Yeah, the ear needs some work. Darling action. I'm jealous. I can't draw. Facing an art block. Dazzling. I'm sorry to hear it. Ario, my voice is not clear. Even if you compare the stream to his own videos, you'll notice immediately that there is a massive difference, but it's much better now, so all good. Okay. From Philippines, Alexis. Sometimes simple stuff is fun. It is. Mr. Shy, I'm not a 2D animator. Yet. Pia, love how you draw. Thank you. Appreciate it. What's the new video going to be about? Keanu? Yeah, good question. I've got a few ideas. I'm playing around with a few ideas. I want to start scripting it this week. Dazzling, go for it. Slap some color on there. Looks like an 80-year-old rapper called 33. Oh no, now neck is clean. No more 33. Let's dirty up the neck again. We can just continue to play. What tattoo should he have? The typical love heart. I don't know. What do you reckon? What? Give him, oh, good idea. Chicken tattoos. What's a chicken tattoo? What's a chicken tattoo? What is a chicken? What could that be? Is it like? That looks more like a parrot. This is, no. But then we can like scale it up and then, but there's story here now, right? There's story here. The tattoo artist was shit. It was something that he did on a night out that he regrets. I mean, it looks like a parrot, and that's what people say to him all the time. That's terrible. Fucking terrible. Oh, Christ. Let's see how we can fix that. Can we... Let's make it more like grainy, I guess. And then let's make 20th maybe. Uh-oh, Photoshop shut itself. Oh no. We're glitching. Oh well, that's alright, that's his chicken tattoo, there you go. Looks stupid. But that's part of the story. Alright, now I'm going to do something with the ear. We need to deepen some of these shadows in here, definitely. So let's add in some shadows. But if that's the case, if the shadows are going to be that dark, we also need to do something here in the shadows as well. You know what I mean? So maybe even this occlusion shadow be a little bit darker. Now it's just pushing and pulling. Just having a play. Wait, do you mind making a ruckus? I think in here it could be a little bit more shadowy, potentially, maybe, maybe not. Don't hate it, don't love it, don't hate it. Get them jowls going. He does give off tattoo sailor vibes, agreed. Milano, hey, you're a big fan, appreciate you. Thanks for popping in. Nah, Alexis, I saw you comment. Something like eat more cows. What about an anchor tattoo, like maybe he used to be a sailor? Could be. Add the chicken neck flap, that's what it is. Good call. Adding chicken neck flap. There you go. There's his tattoo. I appreciate it, Pierre. Towards green, all tattoos have them. Yes, good call. Yeah. Oh no, idiot, you idiot. Wrong layer. Let's throw you on this layer. No. Idiot. What? Actually, let's not even mess around with that. Let's just go here. Let's go green, like deeper green, bluey green. And then we turn this to multiply. Maybe multiply, maybe overlay. You'd have to do some finessing on it, but yeah, you get the idea. You get the idea. I might actually even want to darken his eye. Just a smidge as well. I did the opposite of it. The eyelash. Right, let's have a look. Let's take a look at his lip. What? Okay. Giving an indication that his lip is there. Why? All right. Too pink. Too, oh, maybe just pink enough. Maybe just pink enough, you never know. All right, let's think about this like bulge here, all right? What's happening? What's going in, what's going out? Maybe here is going to catch a little bit more light, maybe. So now it really like brings it out like a, that kind of deal. Give him a worm on his mouth instead of a cigarette. Spider, that's a good idea. I think I might do that. CGI, that is a cigar. A stogie. What's going on here? And we're back. All right, give me another 15 and I reckon we might call it team. Because it is 10:49 PM. I've got a long ass day tomorrow. One of my best mates from high school is getting married. So going to a wedding and it's going to be a long, fun day. So I need to rest up. I need to have some bloody dinner. That's what I need to do. What I need to do here. Something like that, I think. You know you did a good drawing when you want a face plant. What if the chicken had a worm in its mouth in the tattoo? Not a bad idea. Mixter, this is Christmas. Appreciate you, my friend. CGI, my pleasure. Thank you for popping past. Lisa GS, thank you. Travis, my absolute pleasure. Tattoos of 33 is cool. On head a little, I'll have to check it out. Happy to join live finally. AESTAS Stuffin. Great to have you. So yeah, so you can see how we can just keep noodling. There's good noodle and there's bad noodle. Good noodle is when you got the bigger picture. And you sort of know what's going on. Now we've got to take into account here that this is going to bounce back onto the nose. So this is going to be kind of lit up with more saturation on this side, which gives it more realism a bit as well, which is all just lighting theory, understanding how light works. like to make this lip feel a bit rounder or more round. So let's go multiply, shall we? Better. Ivan, welcome. Keanu, have you seen some of Gork's work on YouTube? Yeah, his editing has inspired me a lot. A lot, a lot. Yeah, storytelling as well is wicked. 'Cause that's what I don't want to, I don't necessarily want to be like a how-to channel, you know? I want to have that mixed in with a bit of everything. More like I'm exploring how to do things. How did they work out? How didn't they work out? Because that way, like, you never really run out of content. And it keeps it interesting for me and hopefully for you guys as well. Versus the 60th video on how to draw an ear, you know? I don't know if I could add much more to that. So that's what I'm also trying to figure out as well. Where do I fit in the landscape of everything? Zekui, so you were using a tablet without the screen at this time? Yeah. I'm just looking straight ahead at the... Here, I can show you. So this is the setup. Tablet, no screen. This does technically have a screen on it, but I'll show you on Instagram as well. So this technically does have a screen on it, but I don't use it very often. I did use it the other day, and this is sort of what I'm looking at with all the stream set up here. This is so handy. But yeah. So what I could also do is, I'm just gonna merge everything down. So everything is now one. Right, scary. But if I take the line work away, does it still start to hold up? You know? It's not the best thing in the world, but it still holds some sort of volume. So that's cool. Now this is going to be a lot more easy to manage, and sometimes what I like to do, what I've started to do, is try selective color. Alright, so I can just start to play, really bumping up the brightness of things. Alright, make it more saturated, desaturated. Like the neutrals, if I want more like magenta in the whole thing. Let's actually just put this on the skin so it's not fucking with anything else. Actually no, let's go here. Delete. Delete. Then. Whoa! Jim Klein. You absolute legend. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for sharing your art process and tips with us. I've enjoyed your art for ages and your work has helped me add more character to my art. Glad to finally catch this stream live. I'm 8 hours ahead of your time. My absolute pleasure, Jim, and thank you so much Really, really means a lot. I'm loving how you use the lasso tool to find the planes in the face. It's very fun to do. It is very fun. Do you have one of your environments that you've drawn that you can place in the background? Yeah, I could actually. Keanu, no doubt your videos are amazing, super engaging. Can't wait for the next one. I appreciate it, Keanu. Travis, so cool to know the behind the scenes. Yeah, I want to do a little bit more of that. Something a bit interesting. What is the advantage of not having the screen on? Posture and being able to talk to you guys and sort of sit up straight. Really, that's the biggest. And this is a higher resolution screen in front of me. This is like a 2.5K screen. This is like a 4 or a 5K screen, and it's bigger. So it's, yeah, a combination of things. Jalang, Ben, how was your year in 2023? It was fantastic. It was actually really, really good. It's sort of cemented that this is what I'm going to be doing moving forward, figuring out the content game, running a business in the content world, which is awesome. Doesn't come without its challenges, but yeah. But no, apart from that, yeah, it's been good. I can't believe you only took one break throughout this entire stream. I can imagine your wrist aches. No, it doesn't, because look, I'm like talking now. This is the thing. Streams aren't great for productivity. That's one thing I've learned. Because I'm chatting, you know? And I'll stop, and I'll start, and I'll stop, and then so I'm not just continually drawing all the time. Keanu, I would love to see an end of the year video, reflection of the year or some sort. It's not a bad idea actually. We've not got much time before the end of the year, but maybe I'll do it in the plans for 2024. Could do. I don't have money, but if I did, I would give. I appreciate you, Travis. That means a lot. Just hanging out is more than enough, my friend. Venera. Hey Ben, do you use the whole area of your tablet, or do you have an area selected so that you don't have to move your arm that much? I use the whole area. It just so happens to map to a very small part that looks worn out. But yeah. Rup, hi Sensei. How you doing, Rup? Any plans for next year? Lots of plans. I went through them earlier on in the stream if you want to listen to my planned ramblings, or my planned ramblings. Oh, there's a bunch of shit I want to do with this character. See, so this was before, and this is after, just like adding that little spice of something. Right, so then I can merge that in. Let's have a look at this hair, hey? And even we can start to go on top of the line work if we want. So we can start to do stuff like a bit of this, you know? Get a bit of this hair. Just got to think what direction is the hair going in on the side of the head. It's probably going to be more like that, right? What is this Backstreet Boys? We can like refine some of this stuff even more. That looks horrible. trying to get that little indication of that eyelid being more shiny than the rest of the skin. You know what I mean? You can do that and then do this and give it like a sharp line right in the middle there. But that kind of pops out just a little bit too much for my liking, so we can knock it all the way back. And I think, yeah, I've made a mistake here. Let's actually remove this whole block. Better. So that's glasses on that side. That feels better. All right, in the last couple of minutes, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do to make this feel better? Maybe grab this jaw and do something with that. Just shebang. I don't know. I oftentimes turn into the character with my facial expressions as well. So as I'm trying to figure him out, I like sometimes try and feel what that would feel like to have that expression. Which actually helps, surprisingly, a fair bit actually. All right, this is too flat. This is too flat. I don't like it. Alexis, yeah, more Procreate stuff I think is going to be, a lot of people have asked for that, so it's on the cards, definitely. Ivan, streams are not great for productivity, but they are good for accountability, definitely. If you've got people watching you, then you've got the pressure of eyes on you to finish the piece you're working on. Yes and no. Yes and no. Like, sometimes you've got to do boring stuff, right? But that boring stuff isn't super entertaining. So I might save that for my own time. You know, so I might come in here and I might do this faster than I normally would by myself. Like I might separate all of these little bits and pieces out by myself and sort of do it that way, you know. It's yes and no, but it's great for accountability in the sense of doing content, that's for sure. And just keeping that consistency. And then I can use it for clips and fun stuff as well, which helps out with the content. So it's a definite massive benefits to doing it for sure. And it's fun. I really enjoy these. So even just this little color dodge, Shout outs to, what's his face? You know what I'm talking about. It's a little bit intense now, it looks like he's got a beak. We can knock that back. Then we can come on top and look at even the shadow of the glasses, right? That's gonna be something to take into account here. So it's going to be tricky. Let's think. We've got the light source coming this way. It's got to be something like that. Maybe that doesn't look too out of place. I don't know. I'm not sounding too confident. Maybe, I don't know. We'll just throw it there for the time being. And then sometimes what you do get is, well, is like a lighter bit right around where it kind of magnifies on the skin, if that makes sense. Why is that not? Oh, it was a razor. That's why. So there's that little trick there as well, which kind of makes it look more like glasses. Let's thicken those glasses up a little as well, maybe. Oh, maybe we do that over the top of everything. That's probably the way to go. Don't love it, don't hate it. It kind of just is what it is. It kind of looks like a groovy, like he's just been to an art gallery or something. Who knows what's up? Turns out I need glasses as well. I found that out the other week. So I'm looking forward to getting some of those. Maybe my art's going to get better because I can see clearer. Yeah, look, I'm losing steam. I am losing steam, so look, I reckon we'll call it for today. Hang out in chat for a smidge longer. Venera Kushner. Oh, and by the way, Ben, I wanted to thank you for what you do and for the streams. You have no idea how much you inspire me and so many others. Plus the amount of help and information you give is priceless. That honestly means the world. Thank you so much. And the next comment, after that beautiful heartfelt comment, add some burnt shits on the head, please. Not a terrible idea. MLB, I quite like this as is. Those flat greys against the built up skin tones. Nice character, thank you. Appreciate it. How do you deal, Rup Draws, how do you deal with drawing beard and light, very light mustaches on the skin? All right, so if we wanted to put a mustache on this guy, I'll just do it, just as you said, very subtly. Could do it like still stylized like this, just these little like whispers, right? But it's going to follow. Let's do it. Whoa, 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 wrong layer, wrong layer. Back this mustache up. So I'll just do it very, very subtly, if that's what you mean, right? And then I'd break the silhouette a little bit, which I quite like, if I'm honest. I am a fan. Good call. We didn't, but yeah, good way to get me to try something out. I actually quite like it. But yeah, I'll just subtly do that. And then if you wanted to get really detailed, you can do like tiny little ones. That'll take forever. So one way that I would do it if I wanted to do it even more subtle is get the outline, let's say, of this, like where the hair would be, okay? So let's say it's like around here and whatever, right? Something like this. I could do that, right? And then I could maybe do a multiply, and then I could really like lighten it up and have it super subtle, and then I could cut back into it. So I could do something like this. Which then adds even more sort of depth. So I mean, you could have like a big scar there where stuff doesn't grow or whatever, who knows. Jesus, music, I've got to find a different playlist. And then to even enhance this even more, we could break the silhouette and just, where are my shapes? Oh, I'm on delete, that's why. We could break the silhouette even more and just have some like loose strands sort of poking out here. So that's one way to do it, a more subtle sort of beard. Right, which I don't hate. And I'm glad that you asked me that, because I think that gives him a lot more texture, for lack of a better word. What time will be the next stream? It will be back to normal Mondays, 10:30 a.m. Australian Central Daylight Time. Discord. Let's check out Discord. I do have a Discord. If it wants to load. Do you want to load Discord? So we got these work in progresses. Travis, there we are. Working on this one, nice one, dude. Very cool. Oh, we got the dancers as well. Nice, so this is where you can throw your show-offs, showing off your artwork, what you're working on. If we're doing challenges, it's a great place to sort of put what you've worked on. We've got resources, we've got general chit chat. I want to do more with the Discord as well this year as well. So join that if it tickles your fancy. You can add an ear stud to him. I think it could get a little bit messy, but I don't hate the idea either. I don't hate the idea. My pleasure, right? I love how relatable this character is. It's like he's lived a full life of adventure with that chicken. That's right. Maybe that chicken has like a human stamped on him somewhere. I don't know. We could do something fun with it. But yeah, so this was fun. Playing around with a character, going from some line work to a little bit of color for the skin. And yeah, with that, well, I think we will call it. But yeah, some cool stuff to come in the near future. We're going to be doing, so this is Plain Jane, for those of you that aren't familiar, working on her. She'll be released early 2024. We're going to be doing some sculpts. All right, we've got the Hobie sculpt, and we're going to be mobile. Maybe some drumming, probably not. But yeah, oh, I just love this. I'm free, baby. All right. Enough of that. I need to eat. I'm going crazy. And thank you very much for popping in. I appreciate you taking the time throughout this year to join me on these streams and keep me company. It's been, I love these streams. These are something that I look forward to each week. And yeah, without you, it wouldn't be nearly as fun as what it has been. So hopefully bigger and better things in the new year. Keep doing it. Keep cook the chicken. I need to cook the chicken. I'm hungry as fuck. I'm so hungry. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the new year. I hope you have a great rest of your holiday break, and take some time to just chill out as well if you haven't. It's necessary. I've got to remind myself that as well. So with that, I'll say goodbye. Have a great happy new year. Hope you had a Merry Christmas or holiday or whatever you celebrated, and I'll catch you in that. Wait, hold on. When will I catch you? Is that still going to be 2023? I could be doing all the New Year's stuff for no reason. Nah, bug you. I'll see you. Don't worry about the New Year's stuff. I'll see you before 2024. A normal goodbye. Toodaloo, but everything still stands. Have fun. I'll catch you in the next one.